Hello lovelies and welcome to MY.Design and lettering. Today I'm happy to share with you my bullet journal setup for September. And as you can see, my theme this month is sunflowers. I'm so happy that you're here. And if you want to set your journal up with me, make sure you have your favorite stationeries ready and let's start. As you can see, I already sketched my sunflowers, but I want to show you how I did that. I started my sketch with some guidelines, or let's say guide circles. I started with an oval, because this sunflower will be sitting slightly on an angle, and then I made another circle somewhere in the middle and another circle in that. My sunflower is pointing in that direction. The petals are elongated and some kind of pointy. And you can draw the lines a bit shaky, so the petals doesn't look too perfect. And the petals of the sunflowers are overlapping, so you can paint some behind some other petals. And you can also put some folds here and there to make it more interesting. And at last I drawn some smaller petals before them. So the sunflower is looking more dense. For the middle I draw some circles, some dots in the middle. And the smallest circle is kind of almost black. I start with my pigment liner in the size 02 and outline the petals. As I said, I outline the petals a bit shaky, so they look more natural. With the same liner, I draw in the stems and leaves. After I outlined the petals, I went in with a pigment liner in the size 005 and gave the petals some structure and shadows. And I find this step pretty important because with just some lines, the flowers look so much better. It might look intimidating, but it's really not. Just try it out. And for these lines, I flick my hand so the lines are really thin and not straight. And look at that! Doesn't it look cute already? With the pigment liner in the size 08, I started with the smallest circle in the middle and made some dense dots. And around that, in the slightly larger circle, again some dots, but not as dense as in the middle. I wanted my drawing to have a little bit of color, of course, so I took out my Chemique wash set and mixed medium yellow with a bit of earth yellow that I had left in my palette. I diluted it so I have a really watery consistency. But it's important to not have too much water on your brush because, we are working in a bullet journal that isn't made for watercolor. But still, I wanted to have only a tiny bit of color. Then I mixed some light green with a bit of violet to mute it down. And again, make it more watery. For the shadows, I mixed like an Payne's Grey with ultramarine and a bit of this brownish color I had left on my palette. Look at this color. I really love it for shadows. I need to remember how I mixed that. I love it. And I struggle so much with shadow colors. So, yeah. By the way, if you like this video so far, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, make sure to do that as well. I would love to welcome you here in my little community. And also you wouldn't miss another video from me. So it would be a win-win. Then I wanted to color in the box for the quote. And for that I mixed some medium yellow with lemon yellow and white. While that had to dry, I wrote the title for the page. I used this yellow pen first and went over it with a pigment liner. The quote I wrote on this craft sticky note paper, cut the sides a bit and glued it in. With a pigment liner in 02, I outlined the box. I cut the side for a Dutch door and rounded the corners. And because the page looked kind of empty, I made this crisscross pattern to fill the space around the box. And with my mixed Payne's gray, whatever, I drawn a shadow for the box, so it looks more interesting. And that's it for the front page. Let's move on to the calendar page. For this setup, I painted some sunflowers on Procreate and printed them out. This time I printed them out on a piece of bullet journal paper, but I didn't like the colors, how they turned out. First, I cut the side for a Dutch door and cut some of the color stripes from my printed sheet and glued them in. With the Tombow 990, I made the box for my calendar. And filled the space next to the 1st and next to the 30th with some crisscross pattern again. With a pigment liner in 05, I wrote the days. The day numbers I wrote with the Tombow again. And then I sketched in the title. And wrote that with this greenish mild liner. I printed out another sheet, but this time paler. Here for comparison how it turned out with my first sheet. And you can see it's really bright, and it didn't work with my color theme here, with my color theme for the whole setup. I glued some of the sunflowers in. And that's it for this page. Let's move on to my tracker and content planner pages. Again, with this greenish mild liner, I wrote the titles for the pages. And cut out some of these greenish stripes from my printed sheet, as well as a stripe for the Dutch door for the side, and glued it all in. Then I started with the decoration for the pages, and again I sketched out some sunflowers here as well. I went in with the pigment liner in the size 02 and outlined the petals again. For this painting, I only colored in one flower because I thought it might look cool. And I really liked the outcome. But you will see. I outlined the boxes for the habit tracker, the health tracker, and the content planner. With the Tombow 990, I drawn in every second line for the content planner and the health tracker. The titles of the boxes I wrote with the pigment liner in 05. And it's health, training, go for a walk, dog training, content. And in my content planner box, it's content, date, filmed, cut, audio, and online. And under that, in the box is Instagram. And that's it for this page. And didn't it look cute? I think it's my favorite page of this setup. Let's move on to my weeklies. With the greenish white liner, I made a box for the days. And dotted the lines. And sorry that I cut out some parts here, but I thought it's kind of boring to watch me painting dots. So yeah. And it really wasn't my day. I forgot the E for Tuesday and I misspelled Wednesday. So yeah. I cut the side for another Dutch door, and as you can see I left out the first day and the last day of the month because I already have them in August, in my August setup, and will have the first in my October setup, so yeah. I've put in a mini calendar, a to-do section, and a grocery section. For decoration, I cut out some of my printed out sunflowers. I wanted to pimp up this sunflower, so I outlined Let's flip through these pages and see what we have created. And doesn't it look cute? I love sunflowers. They are so happy looking flowers. Let me know in the comments which pages you like the most. My favorite is this tracking and content planner page. I really love how it turned out. What's your theme this month? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hope to see you in my next video. Bye!